Hey guys, okay, so we are going to be making this bumblebee with the Just Chanel yarn 5 Premier from Dollar Tree. So you should be able to get these for just $1. Well, you know, $1.25 or whatever. But if you are making it on this loom, you only need one strand. But if you are making it on this loom, what you can do is take the middle of the yarn out of the middle of the skein, wherever your end ends around your skein, somewhere the end tail of your yarn, you're going to take both of those and basically work your pegs at the same time. You won't need to, and you'll need to do the same thing with the black as well. I'm just going to do the U-stitch because we just sit there and make it all at one time and be done. You are going to need a crochet hook. We're going to be using a 4.5 millimeter. You may want to have some safety eyes, but it's not required. I have made some with some felt. And just regular felt. It wasn't like the specialty felt everyone has made their plushy eyes with. I just took some regular felt and it worked out fine. So yeah, buy some felt from Dollar Tree and make it that way. It'll still work. I think it'll still be cute because mine are still cute. With this loom, I need a stitch marker, so I'm just gonna place it anywhere. It's basically like this. It doesn't have an anchor peg, so if you have an anchor peg loom like this, then you're fine. But or you can put like some tape, something that indicates this your starting peg, so you don't have to buy stitch markers. But I use my stitch markers for making blankets and stuff, so it was very needed for me to have. Or rubber bands. You can use hair rubber bands, so you don't have to necessarily have like the quote unquote stitch marker, but it does help. I'm not going to use a looming pin or looming helper. That was our slip knot. And I always, or most 90% of the time, I start all my projects with an E-stitch cast on. So we're gonna go around here and wrap. E-stitch, which is counterclockwise, or like you're writing like you're writing in cursive. That's why it's important for you to work from the middle of the skein because of the way my yarn is unwinding over there. But I've had this yarn for a while, so I want to go ahead and use it. So that is our E-stitch first row, and then we gotta do a second row to actually make it a full complete E-stitch, and then after that we'll U-stitch everything until we get to the end and cast off. We can skip this one because I already knitted off on there, so it already has its E-stitch. So you should have an E-stitch cast on that looks like that. We are going to start off with 16 rows of yellow, and then When we do our striped area, we're gonna do 8 black, 8 yellow, 8 black, 8 yellow, and then 4 for the stinger on the end. 4 rows of black for the stinger on the end. So it's just, this is how you use stitch, and you're gonna be doing this the whole way through. This is gonna be your first use stitch. So the most important thing is keeping up with your count. Now the U-stitch is straining on the hand, so if you decide to not do the U-stitch, you would do the pattern in E-stitch, and I will give you that pattern for that as well. So we're on our second row now of E-stitch. As you go along, it will get tighter. So right at first it was kind of loose, but it's getting tighter as you go along. So you won't have to worry about hiding the fiber after. I don't do a lot of U-stitch projects, but it does make everything like come together. It's kind of faster than E-stitch to me because I wrap around my loom. But yeah, it's just this simple. Three. And I'm gonna stop it right here, and I'm gonna let you guys catch up to row 16, and I'll be back when it's time to start the black row, and I'll show you how I change colors. Okay, we just finished the 15 row, and I just want to tell you guys a tip. If you ever get to a point where your stitches are getting loose, instead of knitting off the way I am, you want to take your stitches and go over like this and not pull on them too tight, and that will tighten it up. So when you come back around to knit in that area, it will be tight because you barely moved it. So now I'm at that point where I'm getting ready to change to black. Okay, so normally this would be my last peg to knit off on, but I found a trick where if I go ahead and knit on that beginning peg and then change the color also on the beginning peg, I barely see a change. I want to cut it long enough to where I can tie it to the black color. On the inside. So I'm gonna pull this down. Get another slip knot. knit off on that. Don't pull it too hard because it's very loose, and we want to pull that to get back down through there. And it's going to be tight on your when you come back to that stitch in that area. And then we're just going to continue on. We're not going to tie the knot right now because it's going to leave space. You're going to have to like really pull it tightly to tie the knot. So once I get to like maybe 5 rows of black, I would go in there and tie it because I don't want it to get too far down either. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this because we're just doing the same thing as earlier. I'm gonna pause it and come back when I get to my 5th row, and then we're gonna tie that yarn together, the color change together, and we're gonna keep on working. We've made it to the end of the 5th row, and it's farther down enough for me to go ahead and tie without it getting too far. So we're gonna go ahead and tie these as if, you know, have you would start off like a bow or something like that, or when you tie your shoes in a bow, you would do it like that. And I like to do like 3 for good measure, but you don't have to do 3. You can do like maybe 2. Pull that tight. This thing is small, so that's why it's like really important to go ahead and do it now, because it's gonna be, the longer your tube gets, it's gonna be harder to like go down inside of your tube and catch it. But you can try to catch it later on, maybe turn it inside out. But yeah. Our 6th row. And I'm gonna pause the camera until I come back and change to yellow. Okay, so we just finished our 4th row. And what you want to do is wrap the first peg. It's kind of tight because I didn't add any yarn, so we don't have a loose end. And then wrap the 2nd peg. Take this one off. Pick it up, put it over here. Take this one off and bring this over. I'll show you that again because it's black. Okay, now you don't have to do the first one anymore. You don't have to do this one. You're just doing one only, so we're not doing 2 of them anymore. Put that. Now you don't have to do this. You can do a gather bind off, but just make sure that when you do so, that you do not close this end of your work, because you need to add the eyes to your project first before you close it up. And it'll be hard if you go ahead and close this end up without putting in your eyes. If you're using safety eyes. If you're using like felt or something, you can go ahead and close it up. A gather bind off is very similar to how you would if you were doing a hat. Doing a hat on the loom. Trying to see if I can just use the longer strand or not the short ones included to make it easier on me. Only because I had attached some yarn. So this is how your Bumblebee base should look like. We are not going to close this with the suede yarn. We are going to get some 4-weight yarn and close this up. We are going to thread that on the inside. The next step is to get your polyfill so we can fill it in. Or if you don't have any polyfill, this would be the perfect piece to put your waste yarn in. So if you have any extra yarn hanging around that you're not using, and instead of tossing it, this would be a good thing to add it into. Because it's small enough, so you should have plenty if you've been knitting or crocheting for a while now. Alright, so we have all that tucked in. So the next thing to do is to fill in the polyfill and then put where you want to put your eyes at. Take the polyfill back out and then restuff them. So I want to make sure that this part ends up on the bottom. So we're going to put his eyes around here. These ones right here. Some slightly smaller with these. Trying to remember what this is. Turn them over. And we're going to stick the eyes about right here. We got about right there. I think those are in good spots. So I'm going to take the polyfill back out. Try to hold your place spots for your eyes. Turn it inside out just to fill in the eyes. Plastic backing on the back of your eyes. You can also reshape with your hand. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add the stinger. This part is gonna be crocheted, but you can take felt, hot glue it into a cone, and then just glue it on as an attachment. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this since it's already in a knot down here. Cut that and thread it through, and then reattach it to the wherever I want it to be. I'm gonna slip knot enough for it to tie in a knot when you come back, when you thread your excess down. I want to stay close to the edge as I can. I will not be filling the stinger area up with polyfill. Alright, put that down through there. I'm gonna take extra yarn and go around. think that is good enough for me. Pull it back through, cut it off a little bit more so that it would go on the inside. I brought it up through the black because just in case it leaves a little residue, you won't be able to tell. There you go. Okay, now we're going to take this same loom and we're going to make really tiny wings. We're going to get some white and put some tiny wings. I could crochet the wings. But I'm not going to take you guys through that. We are going to do U-stitch. We're just going to U-stitch 3 rows. Gonna start off with an E-stitch like we always do. U-stitch 3 rows so I can show you guys how to make small circles with this loom, even though this came out this side. It's just all about decreasing the amount of rows that you use and gathering up things to make it smaller. This is how I normally do it. I don't think you have to do 2 of these stitches. The cast off like we did with this one, we're gonna do the same thing, and we're gonna do three U-stitches and then cast off. So I'll be back when it's time to cast off. All right, let's cast off together because I was using black earlier, so I wanted to make sure you guys saw everything. So I'm just gonna do like the first 6 or so, just to make sure you guys saw everything. and it's time to turn it into a small circle. Okay, we've gotten our first circle off. I prefer to gather on this end because it's wider. It's going to give me a little bit more flexibility. I'm going to cut this off. We're going to get some white yarn. Some white 4-weight yarn. And gather that side closed. And this yarn is a little bit more off-white than the yarn that we're using, but it's fine. It won't really be seen much. So I'm gonna use the cleaner and the fresh end I just cut from. So we're gonna go down from here. See where I have the other one coming from. Try to get them to meet up. Alright, so we have that. We are going to close this up. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to fold in on itself. Well, no. I thought it was going to fold in on itself like the other one did. But this yarn is different. It didn't fold in on itself like the other yarn that I had. So you may want to use, instead of doing 3 rows, maybe 2 rows will work fine. I tried to see if I can save some of this yarn, but apparently I can't. We're gonna put that right there, and then we're gonna make the second one in the exact same way and fold them in on that side. Okay, we're gonna make 2, and I'll make the second one and I'll be back. Okay, we're back and we have the wings done. They are pretty big wings, and that's probably mainly because the yarn we used. If we would have used this 4-weight yarn, it would have been smaller. So if you don't want yours this big, use this 4-weight yarn and not this chenille yarn, and it won't be as big, but I'm fine with them, so I'm going to go ahead and attach mine. If you don't like the way where I put mine, before tying yours, just make sure to put the other one up against it to make sure that you're happy with where you're going. We're gonna put this one right here. The big wings are so pretty. I actually like them. Now let's tie the strings. Straighten them out. And there we go. I'll add a smile later.